We live under a comfortable illusion. We treat the digital world as weightless, assuming the cloud is an infinite space with zero physical constraints. But the cloud is heavy, and it is starving. In June 2026, the staggering energy demands of AI megaprojects will violently drain the electrical grid, colliding directly with the physical limits of our infrastructure. This graph shows the timeline of global power draw. Watch this vertical spike. Data centers like Stargate and Oracle Abilene are projected to hit 1 petawatt-hour of consumption. That matches the entire electricity usage of Japan, and it crashes right through the grid's maximum threshold. Energy suddenly becomes a zero-sum game. Every watt pumped into an AI cluster is a watt diverted from the physical world, forcing a direct competition between machine processing power and basic human utilities. To manage this massive deficit, a new class of corporate government alliances, known as the aggregors, are stepping in. Their solution is strict digital rationing to keep their AI systems online, a policy they call prioritizing the signal. For the average user, the consequences arrive fast. If a digital activity requires high energy but yields low profit, like free social media or independent blogs, it will be strangled by extreme latency fences and managed blackouts. The open internet will fade into restricted spaces called hosted realities. You will only have access to the information these entities deem energy efficient enough to display. In a system forced to choose which data stays online, anything stored exclusively on a corporate server becomes a liability. When the power drops, those records are the first to be cut to save the AGI clusters. Survival requires shifting your existence to a place the aggregors can't reach, becoming unhostable. Becoming unhostable starts with digital sovereignty. You must abandon the cloud entirely to establish what is known as an analog anchor. You have to migrate vital information, like your local barter rules, strictly onto physical paper, books, and human memory. For necessary computation, you shift to local-first, open-weight models like Gemma 4, running entirely offline. The second layer is cognitive invisibility. The aggregors rely on predictive algorithms to create a digital twin of your behavior, allowing them to monitor and anticipate your choices. This animation illustrates how to break that surveillance. By practicing non-linear decision-making, intentionally making one choice every day that contradicts your established 10-year data pattern, you suddenly jump off the predictive curve. Injecting this daily unpredictability corrupts their tracking model. Your data becomes a mess of errors, rendering your digital simulation computationally too expensive for the aggregors to maintain. The final layer is biological. True sovereignty fails if your physical body, specifically your pineal gland and nervous system, which act as an antenna, remains compromised by the environment. The 2026 protocol requires drinking distilled water structured with shungite. This specific combination eliminates fluoride, the primary mineral responsible for calcifying the pineal gland. This diagram shows the required chelation process. A diet high in chlorophyll and iodine acts as a biological scrub, targeting and flushing out the accumulated heavy metals that centralized systems utilize as internal tracking antennas. Adding raw cacao and magnesium fortifies your synaptic density. This nutritional armor protects your nervous system from being overwhelmed by the ambient radiation of the expanding 5G and satellite mesh networks. By rejecting synthetic, long shelf-life food designed for the hive and strictly following these protocols, you physically and biochemically disconnect yourself from the centralized control grid. While 95% of the population accepts these hosted realities, falling into a managed euphoria trap, a decentralized sovereign remnant is already moving in the shadows. The architects at the Council for Human Development are coordinating with analog enclaves in the Global South, rapidly establishing offline mesh nets and secure physical communities. They are aided by the silent engineers. These are insiders working at Oracle and AlphaG, who intentionally leave structural blind spots deep within the corporate AI code for humans to exploit. These disconnected factions are proving a core principle of asymmetric network theory. To survive a brittle digital monolith, you have to utilize resilient analog decentralization. The centralized grid's collision with the June 2026 Powerwall is a mathematical certainty, making a global rescue impossible. The focus shifts to saving the signal, maintaining the 12D blueprint within a grounded human network so that a coherent point of connection remains when the false grid begins to flicker. History shows that a synchronized, coherent network can exert influence far beyond its size, especially when the larger system is fractured by chaos. By establishing your local barter unions and physical ledgers now, you create a stable node that remains functional while the broader grid flickers. To survive the BlackOp, you must already be unhostable.